but I saw this clip on social media of Bomani Jones on his The Right Time with Bomani Jones podcast, and he wasn't on board with the Shedeur Sanders, the Tupac Shedeur hoax. Bomani Jones, let's play SOT number 2. Here's Bomani's take on Tupac Shedeur.
What is very clear to me is that Dion misjudged what kind of leverage his son had. He got bad information. I think his son was operating on the principle that my daddy knows everything, my daddy knows this league, and my daddy says I'm gonna be a top 10 pick. So I ain't got to go to all these places. I have had people tell me things about the way the Shedeur carried himself in meetings that he had with teams, and it was poor. It was the way that you behave when you have the leverage, and he wasn't good enough to have that leverage. And again, some of us were telling you that as a talent, there were shortcomings. He didn't have the physical traits that NFL teams look for. We told you this. We did. So stop acting like everybody was so sure that Shedeur was going to go early. And then now the league, they decided to put their thumb on this outspoken black man. You know how disrespectful that is to actual outspoken black men? Like, do you get it? No, that's just not what happened here. They thought they had more flex than they did. They thought the league was more interested in him that they did. They thought these teams were like, hey, they need a quarterback. They gonna take this one. They seen what it is. They ain't gonna pass this up, and they passed it up over and over and over and over again. And once again, what did I tell you earlier? If you're not gonna play and you're gonna be quarterback, people gotta like you.
That's Bomani Jones. He's not on board with the Tupac Shedeur race hoax. That's an indicator. He's one of the guys that when they want to promote racial injustice and a race hoax, he's one of the guys that helps sell a race hoax. He's making honest, comments that common sense would agree with, obvious points that normally are avoided during a race hoax when they're going to continue a race hoax. This is this post-Biden, post-Kamala Harris, post-Democratic rule. This is in the era of Trump. It's like these race hoaxes don't seem to last as long as they used to. And people have figured out, like, there's a price for telling outright lies over and over and over again. And so when someone like Bomani Jones wets his finger, sticks it in the air and says, nah, I'm not getting on board with this race hoax, that's a key indicator. And when Bomani Jones says, yeah, they're putting their thumb on this outspoken black man, and it's like, what has Tupac Shedeur been outspoken about? Money? Gold chains? Diamond-encrusted chains? What has he been outspoken about? What stand has Tupac Shedeur ever taken on anything? Expensive watches? What? I know. And Bomani's right. It's like, he's not saying it, but he's like, we've seen buffoonish, clownish black athletes that blow hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars on expensive jewelry because they're so insecure in who they really are that they dress themselves up like clowns and they shovel all their money into predators that know, like, oh man, as soon as we get one of these young black dudes some money, we can get $1 million, $2 million out of them on a Mr. T starter kit. So what has he been outspoken about other than radical materialism?
Hey, I had horrible experiences buying and selling my home, so we built Real Estate Agents I Trust so you could avoid the same frustration that I had. I don't know how to interview an agent, a real estate agent. Our agents share your sensibilities. You'll like them. They'll actually get the job done, and you'll become friends, really. If you're moving across town or across the country, visit realestateagentsitrust.com. The name says it all, realestateagentsitrust.com.
But Chris Broussard loves a race hoax. And he ain't selling, he ain't buying, the Tupac Shedeur race hoax. In fact, he went on television yesterday and shot down the Tupac Shedeur race hoax. Let's play shot number one.
The elephant in the room for a lot of people, race. Because some people are saying race, you know,
Yes.
Deion because he's black, a white father, would they have viewed that way? Look, are there owners in the NFL that maybe if it was a white father acting as Deion, wouldn't look at it as bothersome? Perhaps, you know, probably, right? But here's the truth. Cam Ward, obviously, black quarterback chosen number one. Second straight year, black quarterback chosen number one. He's the 7th black quarterback that's been chosen number one in the draft. All right. 2 of the teams that overlooked Shedeur, Andrew Berry with the Browns, the GM is black. And if you're right, coach, it was a white owner that said, go draft him. All right. We saw the picture. He didn't look excited. The Steelers, Mike Tomlin, you know, black coach, they overlooked him. And if you look, I keep looking at the war rooms and when they have it, that was like the blackest war room in the league. Get more brothers in the war room, NFL. My goodness, it's like ridiculous. Where are the brothers at? But then you go to the reporters. The reporter that reported that people thought Shedeur was brash and arrogant was black, Josina Anderson. The reporter who said that Jonathan Jones, African-American, says that the feeling was Shedeur sandbagged, that's a direct quote, sandbagged some of his interviews, purposely didn't do well because he didn't want to go to those teams. He was African-American. When we start the season, week 1, anywhere from 15 to 17 of the starting quarterbacks will be black. So I'm just saying, like, race, maybe it was some sort of factor, but it was not the dominant factor in this situation.
That's Cris Broussard. Cris Broussard has a PhD in race hustling. Loves to play the race card. He's taking it off the table as it relates to Tupac Shedeur. That is significant. The race hustlers aren't hustling. And I don't know if all the NFL owners are in their right mind, but you don't have to live very long to figure out that grown men that walk around with hundreds of thousands of dollars of jewelry wrapped around their necks, calling themselves nicknames, prime time at age 57, 58, legendary when you're 22, 23, and really haven't accomplished all that much. 1,000 other quarterbacks have done what Shedeur has done. He's acting like he's the only one. That's all insecurity. And I don't want to leave myself out of this for those of you that are just watching. When I was running around calling myself big sexy, that's insecurity. That's not confidence. Let me play you one more. And this guy that I'm about to play, and none of these guys are fans of mine, Bomani, Cris Broussard, or this last one. Cris Carter has me, the Hall of Fame wide receiver, has me blocked on X and has for quite some time. None of these guys like me. They're all saying things that I'm saying and agree with. These are the race hustlers that do not like me. They're saying things that I believe. This is interesting. This is enlightening. This is something we should be reading into. Like, oh, this Tupac Shedeur, the lifespan of this race hoax isn't going to be very long. And then I'm going to, after I play you this Cris Carter, I'm going to show you white people that are pivoting. They're like, oh, look, the race hustlers aren't selling this. That means I can actually say what I really think. This thing is being memory asshole. Let's start with Cris Carter, the Hall of Fame wide receiver. Not a fan of mine. Loves to play the race card. Let's play shot number 7.
You're going for a job interview. So for his job interview, he was so concerned about, what his outfit was. His necklace was over $100,000. Like, he hadn't even convinced people that you're the face of our franchise. Matter of fact, he had convinced people that they were better off going in a different direction, even with people who had lesser talent. That's the rub he put on the people.
If that's the case, that's a bad interview, bro.
No, it is the case. He didn't get drafted right. It's no speculation. Like, we're through the draft. We're through 3 days. He threw away at least $30 to $50 million.
Cris Carter saying what I believe. Chris Broussard saying what I believe. Bomani Jones saying what I believe. You could knock me over with a feather right now. These are 3 bona fide sports media race hustlers. And they're having to say what I believe about Tupac Shedeur. This thing is getting memory hold quickly. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.